Well guys, we now know how well the Nintendo Switch 2 sold within its first 4 days. Nintendo came out publicly on Twitter and stated that the Nintendo Switch 2 had now sold over 3.5 million units worldwide in just the first 4 days, becoming the fastest selling Nintendo hardware ever globally. This is absolutely insane. This amount of sales in 4 days is absolutely unheard of, and it gets even crazier when you start putting it in perspective to how much that actually is. Comparing it to the Nintendo Switch 1, this user on Reddit actually has the information where it states the Switch 1 sold about 2.74 million units worldwide in its first 29 days, on sale from Friday, March 3rd, 2017 to Friday, March 31st of 2017. So the Switch 2 outsold it by 750,000 units in less than 1/7 of that time, being just 4 days. It gets even crazier when you compare it to the Wii U, which in its total lifetime sales, as of today, has sold 13.56 million. Obviously, we know it was a massive failure for Nintendo, but the Switch 2 already sold over a quarter of Nintendo Wii U's full lifetime sales, and it did so in 4 days. Nuts. I think it's even more hilarious when you see nothing but these Sony and Xbox fanboys online, because trust me, they are all over Twitter. That's all I see. In fact, I literally just commented at one that was talking about the Switch 2 being not that powerful and that Mario Kart was a scam and that everybody that bought it is just being scammed. It's so strange just to see everybody just mad and trying to attack Nintendo, considering the fact that everybody normally just left Nintendo out of the equation. And that's when you know Nintendo's really doing well. Remember back in the day, not even back in the day, but literally like all the time, literally like before the Switch 2 even came out or was announced, all you would hear is Sony versus Microsoft, and everybody would just say, yeah, Nintendo's cool, Nintendo's doing their own thing, like, we love Nintendo. No one had a problem with Nintendo, everybody loved the Nintendo Switch, but for some reason, when the Switch 2 comes out, everyone's just like attacking Nintendo. They're now in that like question of who's better, Sony, Microsoft, or Nintendo. It's sad. I mean, I own all of these consoles and I love them all for their own purpose. Why do we even have to be like that? I don't know. This world is just hateful. But either way, the haters can, cry all the way home, because yes, the Nintendo Switch 2 is doing immaculate. This is the best possible start for Nintendo ever. But what else are we going to talk about in this video? Well, I want to talk about how Nintendo needs to capitalize on this. They have so many people buying Nintendo Switch 2s, and the fact that you can actually go into the store, well, a lot of stores right now, and still find Switch 2s on the shelf. When I went in for my pre-order, I actually ran to Best Buy because I got mine from GameStop. My friend needed his picked up from Best Buy, so I went to go pick his up, and they already had a line outside of the door that was already like 100 people, over 100 people deep. It was crazy. I get in, it's very late, 2, 3 in the morning. I'm one of the last people because I already picked up mine and I just walked in to grab his, and they're like, yeah, we still have a bunch of Switch 2s as well that are not even pre-ordered. They still had like 200 additional Switch 2s. So if Nintendo's selling 3.5 million still with that much stock still in stores, it's absolutely absurd. And I'm hearing from people that a lot of people are still finding some in stores. Some aren't, of course. They're going to be sold out in certain locations more than others. But a lot of people are still finding some in stores. It seems like Nintendo really did have ample stock this time around to beat scalpers and to actually get sales even higher. That's what happens when you put a lot of units into stores for people to buy. So Nintendo was ahead of the game, and they just absolutely killed it. I mean, seriously, the fact that there's so much stock, the fact that it's selling like hotcakes is such a good sign. But like I just said, Nintendo needs to keep that hype going. Look, a lot of people wanted the Switch 2 to launch with a big single-player game, and myself included. Of course, I was really hoping it was going to be a 3D Mario game, but with that said, Mario Kart is without a doubt the best option. When you see how much Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold, and you see how many people can jump in and play Mario Kart, it's more consumer friendly. I mean, it's for all ages and everybody can jump in and have fun with it, and it's a fun kind of all play together game that everyone's going to want to have in their library. It was extremely smart from Nintendo, but with that said, now Mario Kart World is officially out. They have to keep up the hype and they have to keep the momentum going, and they literally kind of did just yesterday by announcing a brand new Splatoon spin-off game that's focused on a single player action adventure campaign, which is something that's absolutely, once again, I know I'm saying it a lot, it's insane. Like, Nintendo just dropped that on Twitter. A lot of people are saying this can't be the holiday game because it's a Splatoon spinoff. Why would that be a big holiday title? But when you really think about what this means, we're getting a huge, maybe even open world, 3D, third-person shooter action-adventure game with Splatoon. That's something that we have never seen before, and that's going to be on the scale as something as big as a big 3D Mario, 3D Donkey Kong, 3D Kirby. You get what I'm saying? This is a massive deal, and I feel like people really should not be sleeping on this. And if this is it for Nintendo's 2025 year of games, I think this is a massively successful year for them. And that's not even including things that we've been expecting, like a huge 3D Mario game. So yeah, I am very happy with what the Switch 2 is doing so far, and I think there's a lot more to come, but Nintendo needs to keep that hype level moving. For instance, I think it's time for a Nintendo Direct soon. You've got all these games slated for 2025 still, and we have hardly any trailers or release dates for any of them outside of like Pokemon Legends ZA and Donkey Kong Bonanza. And Donkey Kong Bonanza only got a reveal trailer and a little bit of gameplay from the Nintendo Treehouse, and it comes out next month. So Nintendo needs to show off Bonanza, they need to give us release dates and brand new trailers for Hyrule Warriors and also Kirby Air Riders. Splatoon Raiders needs a proper trailer so we can see what the heck is going on in this game and you actually get a good feel as to what this game is going to be like. We also need information on Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. We've getting little gameplay snippets here and there and small little trailers here and there, but nothing to really show us, for one, when the game is coming out. We still don't have a release date for this thing. So, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff that Nintendo needs to slate out. And I'm still expecting Mario Kart World to have some type of DLC as well, or some type of update, or some type of, plan for the future. You got all these people playing Mario Kart World, they're gonna get bored after a month or so you gotta give them a reason to keep playing and things to look forward to, and, in a vein of planned free updates, or maybe eventually a DLC pack of some sort. But hopefully Nintendo touches on all that stuff in an upcoming Nintendo Direct. I'm still expecting something to happen in June. I think just because Splatoon, had this big thing announced, it doesn't mean that we're not having a Nintendo Direct. I feel like they might have just wanted to get that out of the way to reveal even more stuff, but we're gonna have to wait and see. But Nintendo is killing it right now, and it's super exciting as a Nintendo fan to have so much to look forward to. But let me know in the comments down below, are you super hyped for Nintendo right now? Has your hype ever been this high? Because there's so much to be excited for. The future is blank, but it's also not because there's stuff coming out, but it's also kind of blank because there's probably so much stuff that we don't know, like 3D Mario and even more like Luigi's Mansion, Animal Crossing, Smash Brothers. I mean, the future is just so exciting right now. But thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out. And like always, I hope you all have a blessed day, and I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.